Hi, it's Mary at the Paper Turtle. Welcome to another haul video. I wasn't going to do a haul video this morning. I was going to do a little bit of crafting, but I was bringing some things into the room and put them in my haul bag here and realized that it's full. It's time for me to do a video because this stuff, of course, needs to get put away. And, you know, if it's sitting in my bag waiting for me to do a video, I don't use it because I'm saving it for after the video. So there's some things in here that I'd like to go ahead and use. So I'm going to get the video done and out of the way, and then I can use it. I'm going to start with an estate sale that I went to yesterday. And this estate sale, the pictures showed promise because it was in an old, not an old house, but they advertised it as 3 generations of family. And so the pictures showed a lot of old stuff. And so I was anxious to go and excited to go. And one of the things that they showed was a lot of old books. A lot of old books. But when I got there, I found out that the books were pretty roached out. They're dry rotted, they're mildewed, they weren't taken care of. And it was really sad because there weren't even any. I looked just to find a cover, a nice cover of an old book that I could use, and there weren't any. And they were just destroyed. It was sad. I did manage to pick up a couple, but I was also afraid of bugs because they obviously had been, at some point, I don't know. It didn't look like mice, or it didn't even really look like roaches. It just seemed they were dirty and just not in good shape. And I was afraid. I'm so scared of bringing silverfish into my room. If I get silverfish in my scrapbook room, I'm done, because they eat everything. Paper. They love paper. So I have to be really careful and make sure that I don't do that. So anyway, I picked up a couple of books that I did look at and made sure that hopefully they don't have bugs in them. This one, it was really cool. It's an old school book. The date in it is the fourth printing is 1959. It was for a Catholic school, so there's some religious references in it, but the pictures in it are really cool. See, it's a Catholic school, but there's some really cool old pictures in there like that. But what I really liked about this book is that it had this book cover on it. This is like paper bag material book cover, but it was provided by Phillips 66 dealer. And it's got this really cool picture on it, and I was a little bit disappointed that it's written all over, but it's part of the charm. Well used. This was a well-used book. Obviously was not returned to the school, as it probably should have been. But because this book cover was on it, I did pry it open. It was kind of stuck to it a little bit, but I did pry it open. See, I don't know if you can see the dirt and stuff that's in these books. I pried it open, got the book cover off carefully. Now inside, this book cover was reversible. So look at that. Pristine on the inside. And the book, oh my goodness, book covers work. Look at how absolutely clean the book on the outside is. I love it. So I probably will end up cutting the book up, even though it's in really good condition. But look at the awesome book cover. It's really good. Okay, so that was one book that I picked up there. I also picked up this one. This was like in the best condition of all the books that were there. It's Drawing Made Easy, and it was given to grandmother with love from James, Christmas 26. And It is dated 1913. And it just has, see, you can see that, see the condition of it? There's parts of it I'm just not going to be able to use. But the drawings in it are so cool. I mean, there's definitely enough in here that's clean enough and good enough that I can use. And this book was probably the one that was in the best condition, aside from that school book. I think the school book might have been kept in the house. And I heard them saying that they had brought everything out of the attic. So I think that these things are just stored in the attic and they're dry rotted. And, you know, in Florida, you just can't do that. The heat, the humidity, the bugs, it's too much for things like this. You have to keep them climate controlled and sealed off so that the bugs don't get in them. But anyway, I thought that that was a fairly good buy. Not the best, but it's workable. And then they had a whole bunch of these trading stamps. They had green stamps. They had these plaid stamps, gold stamps. And I just picked a couple because I have some green stamp books and I don't use them. So I figured I'll just get one of each of these. There's no need for me to stock up on stuff that I don't think that I'm going to use. But this book is full. And they had quite a few. It makes you wonder, why didn't you turn them in for something? Why did you just collect full books? And I don't know if these have, I don't think there's a date anywhere on here. No. I don't know when gold stamp bonds were in. And then this McDonald plaid stamp book, also full, but not in the best shape. So that's why I only got one of them. And then this envelope that had the loose stamps in it. And I didn't even really look through the envelope. It was 50 cents, and I figured it just had those stamps in there. But in addition to the trading stamps, it also has a few postage stamps. Not a lot and not anything special, but a few, enough that, you know, worth 50 cents. These still have the postmarks on them with the date 1969. Postage was 6 cents in 1969. So there's a few stamps. They had bags of postage stamps that they were selling, but they wanted like $8 for a sandwich bag of stamps, and I was like, no. I don't even think that it's a big thing to collectors that much anymore. I'm sure there are serious collectors still out there. There always will be. But I don't think they're paying much for stamps anymore. So just a few trading stamps here. I'm going to take these out of this nasty bag. Everything was dirty. Everything just, you know, you could tell they had pulled it all out of storage and it had been there for years, and things weren't very clean. But that's when you get, that's a different one. That's when you get the best old stuff, you know, when they've dug stuff out of their attics. But I'm going to get a different envelope. I think I have one right here. But yeah, it's kind of gross sometimes to go through some of the stuff. And yeah, I am afraid of the bugs. But it appears that most of it was just kind of dirty and not necessarily infested. So cleaned that up a little bit. Then I spotted paper dolls. I was so excited. They were spilling out. The pieces were out on the floor, and I'm like, oh, those are paper dolls. So I found the thing, put all the pieces back into it, and just grabbed it. I didn't know how much they were going to ask for it. It was with magazines. But I was like so excited because I never find paper dolls. Never. And if I do, it's like in an antique store and they want $25 for it or some stupid thing. So these are from 1964. It is not complete. There's 2 out of 4 of the dolls in here. There's still a lot of clothes. Here's the 2 dolls that are in here. Bobby Joe and Betty Joe. And we're missing Kate and Billy Joe. I didn't watch Petticoat Junction. That was a little bit before my time. The paper dolls are from 1964, and I was born in 1961, so I didn't watch it, so I'm not familiar with the characters in it, but hey, they're paper dolls. And you know, it's so funny because see her arm is taped. When I used to play with paper dolls, we'd have tape on the necks and the arms, and we'd put popsicle sticks along the back to make them sturdier. And yeah, paper dolls weren't something that lasted, you know. So when you find old paper dolls like this, it's like so cool. And some of them aren't even cut up. So I was really happy to find them. Then along with those were these. Now this is a reproduction, but they're still from 1978 is the reproduction date on them. And some are cut. Now I don't know. I guess these were the dolls. So there's still quite a few dolls in here and their outfits. Because this has already been cut into, I will probably go ahead and cut this and use it. As opposed to, you know, putting it in my collection or something. The Petticoat Junction ones, I'm not sure. Because, and maybe I'll copy some of them. Because, you know, like I said, they don't last. So if you have old ones like that, I kind of hate to use them. So I'm not sure. I don't know. It's always a dilemma when I do find paper dolls what to do with them. But this one is pretty well cut up, so I'll probably cut this one up. What would you do? What do you do if you find paper dolls? Do you cut them up or do you save them? Or I guess if you're not a collector, you don't save them. I don't know. I save too many things, I think. Also at that estate sale, they had these magazines. They're from 1975, 79, and 73. They're Smithsonian. I just thought that because they're from the 70s, they'll have some interesting ads in them. And some of them have some halfway decent pictures. I don't know. So yeah, it's just, I like finding the old magazines. They're always fun. It's always interesting to see what was the thing, you know, even like the little ads in the back of the magazines, you know, like these kind of things. They're kind of fun to see what was in at the time, and some of it brings back memories. And so yeah, that's kind of cool. So I got 4 of those. They were 4 for $1. So that was kind of like a no-brainer. Picked this up at a thrift store because I do plan on at some point It's on my list, making a Cinderella journal. And I think what I'm going to do is make it from a little golden book. But then I like to pick up other books so that I can cut the pictures out. And I like these original Disney illustrations. So I got this to cut up the pictures. Aren't those cute? Oh my goodness. I'm sure we've all seen this book before, but I've been actually looking for it, and I hadn't been able to find it because, I don't know, the Cinderella ones usually aren't there. Okay, so what else have I got here? Some fabric pieces. I don't need them. Of course I don't. I shouldn't keep saying that every time I open something because, of course, I don't need anything that I buy. But, I don't know. I don't know why I keep saying it. I guess just to tell myself, you don't need it. So they had, this thrift store had a bunch of, somebody donated their quilt pieces that were already cut, ready to be quilted. And they were all sorted into bags like this by size. This particular bag had different sizes in it, but there were other bags that were full of like 2-inch squares and 3-inch squares. So I picked this one because it does have different sizes in it. And look how pretty. I mean, they're basic, you know, quilt colors and stuff. But these little ones, these are perfect for tabs. They're the perfect size. You just fold them in half and put them on the edge of your page or the top of your journaling card or whatever. So these are perfect. There's all different colors in here. And then a little bit bigger squares. And a little bit bigger squares. Very cool. And then even bigger squares. What's that? Is that Christmas? Yep. Some Christmas ones. I don't do much Christmas stuff. I do have a Christmas journal that I use, but look at that. I love that. I don't know what I would do with that, but I love it. So I do have a Christmas journal that I use at Christmas time, but it's not a huge big deal to me. The holidays are you know, they pass so quickly that I tried to do December daily one time. Ooh, that's pretty. But I couldn't keep up with it. And I never got through the whole month of December on it. But those are really pretty. I'm glad that I stumbled on the the one with the different sizes in it. Because, you know, a whole big bag of 2-inch squares, oh my gosh, it would take me forever to use those all up. It'll take me forever to use these all up. Some appliques. These are super dirty. I'm going to take them out of the package. There. Yuck. Pretty little butterflies. And oh gosh, another thing that I don't need. But you know what? Sometimes you just can't resist some of the things. You just can't. I forget how much these were, but they're at a thrift store that doesn't usually have little golden books, and their children's books are pretty cheap, like 50 cents or something. So I just picked up these few little golden books. They're in really good shape. the wild animal babies, saggy baggy elephant, the little red hen, 4 little kittens, and the boats. I remember the boats from when I was a kid. I think my grandmother must have had some little golden books. Well, we had books too, but for some reason in my mind I associate this particular one with my grandmother's house. I don't know why. But I can remember as a kid I liked this book because it had the flags in it. I don't know, again, I don't know why. That was just something I liked about the book. I have no idea why. and it's the only thing I remember from it is the flags. I must have liked flags when I was a kid or something. I don't know. I like the ones with Raggedy Ann on the back. So those will just go in my little golden book stack. I had at one time put some in my Etsy shop. I had made little golden book journal kits. I picked out a book, some fabric to go on the spine, some trims, some papers and stuff, and I had those in my Etsy shop, and I think I sold one. That was it. Etsy's a tough place to break into. It really is. You gotta really get your name out there to sell anything. It's just, to me, it's not worth the work that you put into it. Anyway, I picked this up. This is obviously from a brewery, but it's got where you can put notes about the different beers. It's kind of cool. All the information about the dates and the beer name and the brewery, and you can rate it and rate the flavor, and you put notes over here, and you can even glue the label in there. I thought this was pretty cool. I have a small wine book similar to this, and I don't know, I just thought that a beer one would be fun. I found guest checks. Do you believe it? They're not vintage. They're not old. But they're the heavier ones, which I like. They're not the thin paper. And they have the lines on the back. So I picked those up. 2 packs of them. I'm all set now. I could never find guest checks anywhere. I know that you can just go and buy them. I know you can, but that's not the fun part of it, you know. That's no fun if you just go to Walmart and buy stuff. Anybody can do that. I picked up these cute kitty buttons. As you can see, it is the thrift store that puts the price on the front of the card. This one doesn't matter. It's not a fancy card, but they're still doing it. But I thought those were cute buttons. Oh, I picked up these postcards or photographs. I'm assuming that they are all the same. But I have a postcard stamp that I can make these into postcards by stamping on the back of them. Or they'd make good journal cards. I just thought that the picture was kind of cool. And I am assuming they're all the same. No, they're not. And they do have postcard on the back with a quote. Oh, that's better than I thought they were. 3, a Vespa with a quote from Steve Jobs. Obviously, these are not vintage or anything, but it took me a second to figure out what the heck. There's a person right there. I'm not sure what this is. The quote is from Van Gogh. Cool. That's nice to send to somebody that sent you some Happy Mail. best way to cheer yourself up is to try to cheer somebody else up. I love it. Love that. That was an awesome find. And then they had these old postcards. This one, why did I get it? Just because it's kind of cool. The swimsuits and the hairdos and the style of the hotel, and very iconic. I just like it. This was azaleas in Florida. And where was this taken? Oh, Cypress Gardens. So that's kind of cool. And then I just thought that this was a cute picture of these kids eating the pineapples. And this one is used, so that's always cool too. It's dated 1972. Dear Mother, we are having a wonderful time. Every day is a new adventure. Today we saw the whaling port. The pineapple is delicious here. We hope to send some home. We had some rain yesterday and the lights went out for a while, but today was sunny again. All the hotels are beautiful. The days go by too fast. We're on Maui now, just one more island left, Hawaii. Hope the children are good for you. If they aren't good, they won't get their surprises. See you soon. Love, Richard and Nancy. Aww. Cool. I don't know why I got this. I think when I saw it, I thought it was pretty, and I think it would make a pretty journal cover. Let's see if I can open it up so you can get a good look at it here. You know where this came from. I don't know what they'll do if that woman ever decides to stop volunteering there. I'm assuming she's a volunteer. I know that the woman told me that she comes in on Saturdays and does the craft stuff. Okay, let's see. That's pretty. It's kind of, if you can see, it's got kind of a sheen to it. I think it's a drapery fabric. But I think that would make a really pretty journal cover. That's what I had in mind when I bought it. It's very wrinkled. But you know what, that's okay, because when you put the fabric onto a cover and you smooth it out with glue, it gets those wrinkles right out. Very pretty. So each of these bags that I open, what I do, my husband and I, usually about one day a week, we make the rounds of all the thrift stores in our county. There's quite a few of them. So each of these bags is from one of the thrift stores. Now, we may go and I may not buy anything all day. I may buy something at one store or two stores. Sometimes I have really good days and I buy, something at several stores. But this is an accumulation of several weeks of going to the thrift stores and estate sales. And I don't always find things. So that's why I have a lot of bags, because it's a lot of stops, a lot of different stores. I grabbed this, and then I was flipping through it and I thought, wow, this is really interesting. If you've never looked at one of these world almanacs, pick one up. There is so much information in here about anything that you can imagine. And it's not just for the year, it's for all of history, in a lot of things. So, for example, total solar eclipses from 1990 to 2025. Okay, maybe you're not that interested in that particular thing, but then you flip the page and there's U.S. crime rates by region, geographic division, and state 2002. And it breaks it down to the types of crimes and the states and the areas of the country. And flip the page again. Oh, we don't want to hear about abortions. That's back here. There's world history, and it talks about different wars. It looks like the Constitution. The Constitution is in here. U.S. population, states, cities, area codes, information about different countries, their population, their geography, their government type. I mean, this is like, this book has everything in it. Sports. I mean, just so many things. It's a really, really interesting book. So I picked it up because some of the pages, you know, they're like kind of like charts, and here's a section on flags, maps. There's just a variety of things in here that would look really cool. And then there's little snippets of information that might be interesting to take and put it on a journaling card or something so that it's readable. I don't know. It just, I'm fascinated by it. I remember my parents getting these books. I think my father would get one for Christmas, probably from my grandmother on the other side or something. And I remember us having these almanacs in the house and looking through them when I was a kid and being very fascinated by the information that's in these. So if you're at all interested in any kind of, I don't know, statistics, trivia, information, geography, any sports, anything, pick one of these up and just look through it. It's a really cool book. Okay, I'll get off my box on the book. I picked this up. Just, you know, it's a Birds and Blooms book. Look at the pictures in here. Oh my goodness. There's so many pictures of flowers and birds. And I think there is a section on butterflies too. Somewhere in here. Yeah. I need a new butterfly book. It's something I went looking for the other day in my stash. And I must have cut up whatever butterfly books I had because I don't have one. I couldn't find one. So now I'm on the hunt for another butterfly book with good butterfly pictures in it that I can cut up. So there's that. I probably should have cut this video up into two. That's all right. You don't mind watching. If it's too long, you can always come back and watch the rest of it later. This I got at an antique store. We went to a little town. Oh, it's about an hour or so away from us. If you're in Florida, you know it's Mount Dora. And they have a big antique mall there. Oh, a couple of them. And I usually don't get things at antique malls because they're just too expensive. It is. It's just plain too expensive. And I see the same things in the thrift stores and estate sales for a quarter of the price of what they're charging in antique stores. So I don't usually buy anything. But I did buy this bag of photos for $4, which really is a little bit more than what I would normally spend. But I figured, what the heck. I don't really find old photos at a fairly reasonable price very often. So I picked these up, and there's some really cute pictures in here. That one's not so great, but kind of funny if you really look at it. It's got a date of 38 on it. These are from the 30s. This one's 1957. That's so cute. It's almost colorized, but I think it's just a color photo faded. 38. This one, I don't know. Look at the stockings. I don't know if you can see them. She's got these knee-high stockings on. That's funny. I'd say that's from the early 60s, maybe late 50s. There's no date on it. This one's pretty cool. They labeled the dog Bubbles. I love that. Very cool pictures. That's an oldie. So that's kind of fun. Some of the better ones, I might go ahead and copy them so that I can use them more than once. I don't pick up much trim and rickrack these days, but this was a lavender chenille. That's pretty cool. It's not that old, 2003. The interesting thing that I always like on these that are from Wrights, see where it says West Warren, Mass? My mother worked there at Wrights when she was a teenager. That was, I think, her first job. She worked at Wrights, and then she worked at Wrights when she was older, after she first retired from work. She worked at a school. She went back and worked for Wrights in their outlet store. So Wrights is kind of a, I don't know, I feel a family connection to Wrights every time I see it. A bird book. We've seen this bird book before. It's excellent. It's got really nice, bright colored pictures in it. The only thing I don't like is it's glossy, but that's all right. Look at those. Ooh, those are so pretty. But that's okay. I don't really mind the glossiness. I need to pick up the pace, I think. I didn't realize I had as much. Oh, those aren't the junk journals. Marbles. For $1. They're not anything valuable. They're just run-of-the-mill kind of game marbles, like. But I keep marbles in a big jar, like a big glass cookie jar, and they're just pretty. I just like them. I don't know. I had a thing for marbles. This trim for 25 cents. 4 yards. It's kind of pretty. Here, let's open it up. Oh, yeah. It's a little flat from being in the package all these years, but that's pretty. We can fluff that up before we put it in a book. I like it. I love the color. I think that's why I bought it. It's the color. And then this one. Another really pretty color. Oh, there we go. I picked this up. It's unique. It is poo paper. It's made from cow poo. I know, you're saying, ew, gross. I also have elephant poo paper. And it's got the best texture. I'm telling you, it really does. It's very, very cool. It's got little fibers in it. And if you're into natural, it's natural. And I love the cover. Look at that. That's like such a cool cover. I hope I can get that off. I don't know why. I don't know if that's the price or... No, the price is back here. Maybe I can get that off. I liked it. I just thought it was kind of cool. I like things different like this. Now, now my dilemma will be, do I take it apart and use the paper, or do I use it as is? Because I could use it as is, as a little journal, right? I don't know. I hate when I do that. I get something and then I don't want to use it or don't know how to use it. This is vellum note cards with vellum envelopes. There's 2 packages here. No, this is bright paper note cards with vellum envelopes. So I just thought that I don't find vellum envelopes very often, so here's the note cards. Oh, they're like, oh, I thought they opened up here. Okay. Well, those are cool. Those will be fun to do something with. And then these are the same thing with just plain note cards. That one's not even folded right. But vellum envelopes. Cool. And a jar of buttons for $2. I don't pick up too many buttons anymore because I'm out of space, out of room for them. But for $2, I figured, I don't think there's anything like valuable in here or anything, but there might be a few fun buttons that I can use. That's different. That's a little different. These are, they feel like they're all plastics. There's not even little glass buttons that I can tell. Yeah, that one might be. No, that's plastic too. Yeah, so they're just a bunch of plastics in here. But some of them seem to have a little bit of age to them. I like the little colored ones. I use those a lot. A jewel. A couple of those. That's pretty. So yeah, that's worth, there's $2 worth in there. And some of these things that, you know, it's priced $2, but it might have even been on a discount day. You know, every day they have like different discounts, and depending on what you buy, you you might get a good discount on something. Some people, you know, when they're like serious thrifters, they know what the discounts are at what stores on what days, and that's how they do their shopping. I don't do that. I can't plan my days out like that. We just, whatever day we're free is the day that we go. Whatever discount is that day, that's what we get. If there isn't one, there isn't one. I don't shop for the discounts. If you can do that, that's great, because that's even better. You get even better bargains that way. But I don't do that. There's more. Oh gosh. All right. Photo paper. 100 sheets for $1. Good deal. Really good deal. Did I buy these again? Wait. I did. Okay, that's bad when I forgot what I bought, so I bought them again. So typical. They did have these. That's really pretty. And she put the price on the back. And I can cover the back with some coffee dye paper or something to make a journaling spot and just use this as is in a tuck spot. I think that would be really cool. So I ended up with a few of those. I think there were some in the last video that I did. This was just because it's wide navy blue hem tape. I don't know. This has appliques in it. You know what? I'm gonna just cut the bag. Because I'm gonna take them out of the bag anyway. What is it? One big thing? It is. It's one big thing. What in the world? My goodness. Well, I would, obviously I'm not going to use this as one big thing. So this will be cut up, but look at all the flowers that are on here. And I kind of like some of the branches, depending on, you know, how I cut it and how I use it. The branches might be kind of cool. It's huge. Wow. That's kind of neat. Different. Very different. And I bought this bag of scraps. Look at how she does not want people getting into these bags. She tied the bag up and then she tied it to the zipper. Oh my goodness. That's funny. She must have experience with people opening up the bags and everything. But, you know, because of this, the craft area is very neat and tidy. And it's, you know, it's organized and sorted, and it really makes it nice to shop there, actually. It just cracks me up how she puts so much effort into packaging these, and she labels them. And all right, so what do we have in here? Oh, there's some good stuff in here for stamping on. Really good stuff. Look at all of these colors, and yes, this is good. Look at all these are perfect. If I were into dyeing, I'd dye some of this, but I'm not. But these are, I love the strips. Look at Snippet Roll. Yep. Kind of excited about this one. Oh, look at that. That's cute. Very, very cool. Some very cool fabrics in here. I mean, they're all, you know, whites and off-whites and stuff, but some of them actually have patterns on them, and then the ones that don't are perfect for just strips. And now here's some squares. Nice. Oh, look at these strips. Ooh, I like that one. That's like botanical. It's got little petals and branches and stuff. That's cool. I like that. Nice. I'm glad I picked this up. I passed this by a couple times. It had been there for a while, and I did pass it by a few times. But I'm glad that I grabbed it this time because I like these. Oh my goodness, what are we ever going to do with all this stuff that we collect? You're in this with me, you know. I'm not doing this on my own. Oh boy. What is this book? Oops, I forgot some. Encyclopedia of Herbs. Oh my goodness, this has got some great pictures in it. My thought on picking this book up, I am going to do, look at it's got colored pictures and it's got drawings. I love the drawings of the herbs and stuff. I am going to do an Outlander journal, and it's just going to be for me to play in with an Outlander theme. That's all it's going to be. I'm not going to use it to journal my daily stuff. I'm not going to sell it or give it away, or it's just going to be for me to play in. And so there's going to be a lot of herbs and stuff. Look at, I love that picture. I just love that picture. That's going in my book. So it's going to have like a lot of herbs and things in it because of Claire, you know. So that's what my thought process was when I picked this book up. But there's so many other things in here besides just the herbs. I mean, there's just, this is an awesome book that I have to stop picking up books. But I can't help it. Oh, you know, you see the books and it makes you get ideas and yeah. All right, we're getting down there. We're almost done. Oh, let me show you this before I forget. Is this awesome? This is wrapping paper. And it's vintage because there is no barcode on this. And I think, oh, here's a barcode. Well, darn. It says large floral roll. It's not wrapping paper. I was deceived. Okay, but I think it's clear, which is very unique. I mean, not knowing now that it's a floral roll, it's not unique, but it's not something I would normally have picked up for a junk journal, but oh my goodness, how fun is that? That's awesome. That's so awesome. What am I going to do with it? I love it. I don't know. I mean, definitely it's going in my 70s journal, but what am I going to do with it? It's cool. I love it. I'm glad I grabbed it. I picked it up. I looked at it. I put it back. I walked away. I went back. I picked it up, looked at it again, and finally I said, Mary, it's $1. Buy it. So I did. Oh, this thrift store. This is the thrift store that's always a big mess. And their craft section is horrible. Horrible. But they have a separate, like, office supply section. And as I'm walking away, I glanced down on the bottom shelf. Was a pile of these. Look at these. I don't know if this is Marjolaine Baston or not. It certainly looks like it is. Actually, it says C.R. Gibson, but I don't know if that's the artist. Nope, here, down here. Ellen Blonder. But look at that paper. That's beautiful. I love it. A whole pack of it. I love it. And then there's this one. Tulips. This one is kind of like a marble look to it. tie-dye. I picked up 2 of the tie-dye. And then this is like, it's called Stardust Bond Paper. It's got the little speckles in it and stuff. These were 50 cents each. There was a whole pile of them. There were other designs and stuff that I didn't care for. So I just picked up the ones that I liked. That was a score. That was like, and then I think, yes, I got up there and she's ringing these up, and then she says, oh, crafts are 50% off today. And I didn't tell her I found these in the office supply section. I just said, oh, great. She gave me 50% off on these 50-cent items. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. See, that's a thing. If you go to the thrift stores often, and you get to know them and you're friendly with the people that work there, they'll find ways to cut you deals. They will. Or they'll keep an eye out for things. Oh, these are... Okay. I have to explain those. So, yeah, visit your thrift stores often and be friendly with the people that work there, because they will help you out. All right. Well, let me get rid of this. These are for my granddaughters. I thought maybe I could get them to make a couple pot holders, and if they liked it, I know I can pick these loops up at, I think, Joann's or Michael's. Probably Michael's has them. But I thought if I got them started, maybe they would be interested in it, and I can get them to make some pot holders for their mom or their great-grandma or something for Christmas. I don't know. Something for them to do. Then my youngest granddaughter, when she came here the other day, she had these little squishy things. And then it was like the next day or a couple days later, I go to the thrift store and I find this bag of them. So I thought, oh gosh, I have to get these for Arabella. She would love these. They're nasty. They really are. They're all squishy, but they collect lint and dust and dirt, and they get so dirty. But these are in this bag, and they're really clean. So I'm going to give them to her, and she can get them dirty herself. She can add them to her little collection. Always keeping my eye out for little things for the grandkids, because when they come over, whatever I've picked up for them, I set on the bed in there. And the first thing they do when they come in the house, they make a beeline for the bedroom to see what's sitting on the bed. Sometimes there's stuff, sometimes there's not, but it's just a little treat. They like it. All right, so I picked up another couple of Cinderella books. You know, they'll just have lots of good illustrations in them, and maybe, I don't know, I thought maybe I might use one of these for the cover, but I'm still leaning towards a little golden book. But lots of good Cinderella pictures in there. This is a book that I really liked all of the illustrations in it. They're different styles, different, I just loved it. And there's little sayings. So there's a lot to cut up in this book. This is a sit watching TV, cut up the book kind of thing. So many really nice pictures in here. So keep your eye out for this. It's called A Birthday Book. The Country Diary Company. Are these? I was looking to see if there was a specific illustrator, but there is not. not a specific illustrator. When it said the Country Diary Company, I was like, wait, what? But it's not Edith Holden. There might be some Edith Holden in here, but they're not, it's not an Edith Holden book. That's just the name of the publishing company. But very nice book, if you can get your hands on it. And some of this, just because there's a lot here. 3 little rolls of it. Is that everything? Heidi, are you sitting on anything? Nope. Okay, I guess that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Don't forget to do all those things we ask you to do. Subscribe, like, notifications, comment below, all of that stuff. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.